Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here for this Unity of Livonia, a Course in Miracle Study Group. And it's rather a momentous occasion tonight. We don't have as many folks here as I would normally see, but hey, that is not up to me. Um, Spirit told me my job was to prepare to be a good facilitator because Spirit said I got some extraordinary stuff for them tonight. And I've already kind of blown their minds with this whole discussion we've had. We eased into it with the psychotherapy supplement. I don't think what we learned from that it was anything like we expected. And yet, as we endeavored into the subject and what Jesus had to say about it, we couldn't think, but we couldn't help but think, wow, as crazy as it sounds, it does ring true. And as if that wasn't enough, we moved into this second supplement called the Song of Prayer. And to me, that discussion has been unlike anything I would have ever considered, like the discussion on what prayer is and what part forgiveness plays in prayer. And then this third section that we're on right now is about healing. And so far, it's just been nothing like I would have thought healing is. How about you? I mean, uh, it's like nothing to do with the body, yours or anyone else's. It's like the whole discussion uh, treats the body as an aside to the discussion and is not really part of the discussion at all. And I just found that amazing. I would have never considered that as a definition of healing. Um, but it rings true. What, what are some, do you have any comments on what I'm saying, or is Jim crazy as usual? Are you learning anything new about healing and what healing is? And do you even care?
Well, I underlined and so forth on page 18 under number 5.
Oh,
Death is reward and not a punishment. So
yeah,
that has stuck with me.
yep, that blew my mind, Ron. I
Yes.
totally agree. And it just hit me like a bombshell the first time that I read that. Uh, let's see. Yeah, you said paragraph 5, and that was sentence 5 on page 18, right?
Yes.
And so that threw me a curve to begin with. And somehow I've got a feeling that it's kind of setting the tone for the rest of this discussion. we had finished, there were like 4 sections to healing. And we finished the first two. The first was the cause of sickness on page 16. And then the second section on 17 was called false versus true healing. And it occurred to me when I looked those over for our session tonight, I still don't know what true healing is. Or at least he hasn't discussed it directly yet. Because we're on page 19 tonight. We're on Romans 3, separation versus union. But notice that he's still talking about false healing. Like he still hasn't finished telling us about false versus true healing, even though we're under a new subheading. So he's going to get to it in the end, but by the time he does, my mind is so super blown by the whole thing. Why don't we get our reading list going? You'll see what I mean if you haven't already looked this over, or even if you have. I think it bears a lot of consideration. It's a very powerful section to me. So I have Ron as reader 1, and then Joan. Hilda, do you want me to be reader 3 tonight, or do you want to read?
I think I'll let you read. Your voice is so nice to listen to.
Ah, thank you. Flattery will get you everywhere here with
No, it's true. Otherwise, I wouldn't say it.
Makes it, that's even more valuable. Thank you, Hilda. So let's just go ahead and get into it. And by the way, when we finish these sections tonight, I just want to tell you a little bit about what's next and about our new study cycle before we close out tonight. So let's get started and get into this. Oh, hey, there he is. Frank's here.
All right.
Yay. All right, bear with me there, Ron. Let's get Frank and see if he wants to read, right? Oh. Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
I'm
Hey,
so
Frank.
glad to see you, sir. Um, did you have trouble getting in tonight?
Trouble getting in, and I've also got a cold.
Oh, really? Now,
I'm
did you
I
get
wanted-
over the last cold and got a new one,
It's
or
still
what?
the same one.
Yeah, I'll tell you. And, you know, I have not had a cold in 8 years, 10 years, seriously. But I remember when I get a cold, the cough was always the last thing to go. So it looks like that's what's lingering with you too. I'm glad you decided to come join us. So. Hi, Sue. How are you?
Fine. How's everybody?
We are doing well and getting even better seeing your face there. You look beautiful tonight. Great to see
Oh,
you.
thank you. Wait, I'm taking it down.
Taking what down?
What you said.
Oh, well, please write it down. It is noteworthy, I think.
Thank you.
Anyhow, I'm glad you could be here, and Frank just got here too. So, just to bring you up to date, tonight we're doing the last two
Sorry.
sections on healing, and healing is the last section of the Song of Prayer. So this is a momentous evening. I'm so glad you guys could all be here because when we're done with this, we will have covered the entire A Course in Miracles from cover to cover, including the two supplements. And it's been a journey of 15 months. I think last week I said it was 18 months, but really we've been on this journey for about 15 months. And we're all seem to be still alive and smiling. But it's a momentous night, and I am looking forward to it. Now, we were just getting our reading list going. I had Ron as number 1, Joan number 2. Frank, you want to be 3?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to read tonight.
Okay. And I know you don't have it there, do you, Sue?
No, I'm not reading tonight.
Okay. So I will be reader 3. And we are starting on page 19, section Roman numeral 3. You ready, Ron?
Yes, I am.
Please.
Separation versus union. Number 1, false healing heals the body in a part, but never as a whole. Its separate goals become quite clear in this, for it has not removed the curse of sin that lies on it. Therefore, it still deceives. Nor is it made by one who understands the other is exactly like himself, for it is this that makes true healing possible. When false, there is some power that another has, not equally bestowed on both as one. Here is the separation shown, and here the meaning of true healing has been lost, and idols have arisen to obscure the unity that is the Son of God.
Thanks, Ron. Let's, Joan, do paragraph 2, and then we'll discuss it.
Okay. Healing to separate may seem to be a strange idea, and yet it can be said of any form of healing that is based on inequality of any kind. These forms may heal the body and indeed are generally limited to this. Someone knows better, has been better trained, or is perhaps more talented and wise. Therefore, he can give healing to the one who stands beneath him in his patronage. The healing of the body can be done by this because in dreams, equality cannot be permanent. The shifts and change are what the dream is made of. To be healed appears to be to find a wiser one who by his arts and learning will succeed.
Thanks. And I want to talk about these 2 paragraphs and see your comments about them. But I did want to make this observation because I think it really helped me in trying to understand where we are. In section 2, it was called false versus true healing. And so I thought in section 2, Jesus would tell us the difference between false and true healing. So I said to myself, now, where did he tell us what true healing is? And I figured out he still hasn't told us what true healing is in no uncertain terms. Like even now, we're going into this third section called separation versus union. But have you noticed he's still talking about false healing? Healing that addresses a part of the body in paragraph 1, right? And healing in which there's inequality or inequality or unequality of any kind. So don't you agree that he's still talking about false healing, even though the new section is headed separation versus union? So I'm thinking he's going to get into talking about what true healing is eventually. But I don't think he's quite there yet. What are your thoughts? And does that ring true in the discussions in paragraph 1 and 2 to you?
I think I'm kind of looking at this in terms of that we are so ingrained in thinking about our bodies from the time that we're little to wherever we're at now, that it really takes a lot of effort, I think, to be able to step back and say, well, none of this really matters and none of this is really concerned. And then you can, you get to the point where you think, I'm just whole and I don't need anything. And then you get sick and you say, well, maybe I should take a pill just to help it along. And then you're kind of backsliding and you're going over, because I think it's really very hard of getting rid of the ego ideas. You constantly have to be on the alert, and this is why there's so much time spent on this and saying, look at yourself, see you're doing it again, kind of stuff. So get rid of it, let it go.
Well, let's talk about your comment, though, about is Jesus against taking pills?
No, not really, but it is not necessary. I don't know. Necessary is not the right word either, but it is incentive. If you must, then take it, but be aware of the fact that it is not solving your true healing.
Yeah, well said. I agree with that. Have you noticed that Jesus isn't against anything? He just wants us to be aware that we're kind of putting off the inevitable, where we really have to solve this problem that nags us from time to time, but it's regular in its reoccurrence, that we have issues to deal with that we hoped we had fixed the last time, like when we took the pill or got that surgery, and that, okay, now I should be good because I'm feeling better now, only not to start feeling good again at some later date. So it's like you were saying, Hilda, you may do those things and they may appear to help, but they're not really the cure that you're looking for. So in paragraph 1 here, he talks about healing, false healing heals the body in part, but never as a whole. How can you heal the body as a whole? This is getting pretty deep. Hopefully, I'm not bringing this up too early. How can you heal the body as a whole?
By
The
healing the
body is
mind.
an illusion.
And terminating it.
Yes, I heard
That's
terminating it. Someone said it's an illusion, right? Yeah.
right.
Right.
Was
That's
it
where on
Ron
page
or
18.
say that again?
I think the bottom line really of the whole thing has already been said, and that would be on page 18, section 5, sentence 5, I think it is, about death being a reward and not a punishment.
Yeah, that was who was that? Ron? You were
Yeah,
talking
Ron,
about that.
so
Yes, I
that's the
mentioned that.
essence.
Yeah,
That's the whole thing. The ego is afraid of it, but the totality of us welcomes it, and we just don't recognize it.
and just so we're clear, what Hilda's talking about is death. Isn't
But
that the sentence you were referring to?
yeah, I mean, they're worlds, but you could call it transition, or you could say that once you recognize that you let go of this plane,
Yeah.
with that then comes the salvation, the total salvation, and the total transition into what you originally are to begin with.
Could you just read the sentence you're referring to? Page
Yeah,
8.
it says death is reward and not a punishment.
Okay. Uh, so if death is a reward and not a punishment, do you want it?
At some point, yes, you do.
Why would it be at some point?
Well, you have to go through the lessons,
But not today, right?
but not today.
And so I'm sure Jesus himself, Holy Spirit itself, could understand a statement like that from us and would only offer compassion that says, look how screwed up Jim is. I got it, Jim. I know someday, all right, you believe me, but let me think about it. How's that? uh, we were on the question of how can you heal the body completely? The first statement said false healing heals the body in a part, but never as a whole. Is there a way to heal the body as a whole?
Well, all healing is of the mind, not the body at all.
So the answer would be no.
No.
Uh, but that's not the point. Because, as Joan was saying, healing has nothing to do with the body. So stop seeking to heal something or cure something or heal it as a whole, because that is impossible because of what it is. It was never meant to be whole. The body's whole purpose was to make separation real. And it speaks to that when my leg hurts and then my arm hurts and then my toe hurts and then my throat hurts. It's all separate parts seeking attention. So here's the amazing thing that's coming across in this discussion. It's that healing has nothing to do with the body. To see the body healed is false healing, because you know it won't last, don't you?
Yes.
All right, let me get, how about the body is a throwaway container? Talk to me.
Yep.
I'm a mean man. The body is a throwaway container.
Bag of water, as Star Trek would say.
Wait,
Bag of water, an ugly bag of water.
okay.
In one episode, you said, "Oh, what an ugly bag of water."
They would, you know, I didn't see that episode, but I could picture Star Trek saying it that way. But man, that's like sacrilegious or just being mean to look at it that way. And yet, I think that's the first step of understanding where healing lies. Now, unless you have more comments on paragraph 1, in paragraph 2, to me, the easy thing was healing is not also not achieved by you finding a guru here, by you finding someone that's smarter than you, that indeed knows how to heal the body. If they know how to heal the body, they're lying right away. Comment. So you find this really smart person and you go to them and say, "Hey, can you heal my body? I'll pay you very well." And they say, "Sure, come on in." Jesus says, "You're with a charlatan." Yeah, but they're board certified. Board certified in an impossible dream. Now, is this blowing your mind, or isn't that where this is? Healing has nothing to do with what I thought it did. And we're so open-minded, we're gonna let them talk some more about it, right? Sue, what are your thoughts?
First of all, what is the definition of healing according to the book?
Let me give you a lay definition, like I do with atonement.
Okay.
Anybody remember what atonement is?
Atonement.
The correction. Is it a
Oh.
correction?
The
Like
Letting go of errors in
correction
thinking.
in thinking. The correction of errors in thinking. Write that down. Healing. Healing is restoring oneness, restoring wholeness. That's what healing is. What is oneness or wholeness?
There's no separation.
Ah,
Yeah.
and there's no separation between you and your brothers and between you and your creator or between you and God. Sue, did I give you a definition that this book offers on healing?
Yeah, you told me that it's going to take 200 lifetimes to get halfway there.
Yeah, but that's not a lot of work since there is no time.
There's no time.
I
I
mean,
was
it's not
gonna
like
say-
you have to really, it's all will happen. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. Now, what is the and we're hearing that. What is the purpose of doctors? Why are we even trying to heal the body? Now, I know logically why I'm trying to heal the body. I know that it's all in my mind and my soul, but why would God bring forth doctors in the first place?
I didn't say
Second of
God
all,
brought them forth.
what?
I did not say God brought forth doctors.
Well, God brought forth man, and man brought forth doctors.
God didn't bring forth man
How did man come about?
through the tiny mad
Oh,
idea.
I know that. I
But
know.
you don't believe it enough
Oh, I believe
to
that.
have it be a through line through
Okay.
the whole philosophy. If
Okay.
I say to you, as I've said numerous times, there is no world. This is all madness. All these individuals, and some are higher than others, the whole thing is ludicrous. Into eternity, where all is one, there crept a tiny mad idea at which the Son of God remembered not to laugh. But having gone through this experience, next time you'll remember to laugh at a ludicrous idea that the creation could be split up into individual parts. It don't work, does it? I'm asking. You see it everywhere around you, right?
We're not seeing a unity of one.
Okay, and you don't like it. It's problematic. You suffer in an environment where everyone's trying to run their own separate heaven, where there are no unified goals, and therefore each of our powers are diminished because we're contrary to one another. Your original question, why do we have doctors? Because they're people that are trained to think that healing, that the body can be healed. Even they admit it's temporary. What doctors do you know that have cured death? How many?
17.
Let me know where they are. I'll check them out. All right. Okay.
I got the point.
My premise is that the world is a lesson.
And then death is a graduation.
Yes. And I didn't say that when you graduate from here, you're done. This could be elementary school. You still going to middle school when you graduate from here. You're not done yet. It might be difficult to overturn all these millions and billions of years we seem to have been indoctrinated with of understanding of reality that is simply not true. It's not true in so many ways. So it may take a while. Have you noticed how academic the Course in Miracles is? It's like a curriculum, a course.
Yeah, it is.
And what do you have in courses? Lessons, quizzes, things for you to think about and reflect on. It's a lesson. So, to get back to paragraph 2, Sue, if that's all right, we go to doctors of one sort or another saying, I can't heal my body, so I'll go to these people. Please, go to them. Okay, keep playing the game until the Holy Spirit can get us out of this gracefully. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. I'm not saying don't take pills and don't take your medication. But now, when you take that medication, you know you're giving yourself more time to be here to finish learning your lessons. And when you've met the criteria for graduation, what's going to happen? You graduate. Okay? I'm not against anything as long as you temper that with understanding there's more to come that you don't understand. Does that sound reasonable, a reasonable approach? I'm not mad at you for anything. I'm not prohibiting anything you do. I'm just trying to show you that these are stepping stones along the way to something better for you. Sound loving now? Frank, you good?
I'm okay. Yeah.
All right. Let's read some more. Is it my turn? I'm on paragraph 3, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Paragraph 3. They're still talking about someone that's smarter than you that can help you heal your body, right? I'm on 3. Someone knows better. This, the magic phrase by which the body seems to be the aim of healing as the world conceives of it. And to this wiser one, another goes to profit by his learning and his skill to find in him the remedy for pain. How can that be? True healing cannot come from any quality assumed and then accepted as the truth and used to help restore the wounded and to calm the mind that suffers from the agony of doubt. Wow. Ron, you're next. Let's do 4, please.
Is there a role for healing then that one can use to offer help for someone else? In arrogance, the answer must be no. But in humility, there is indeed a place for helpers. It is like the role that helps in prayer and lets forgiveness be what it is meant to be. You do not make yourself the bearer of the special gift that brings the healing. You but recognize your oneness with the one who calls for help. For in this oneness is his separate sense dispelled, and it is this that made him sick. There is no point in giving remedy apart from where the source of sickness is, for never thus can it be truly healed.
All right. So we're doing a couple paragraphs at a time. From my perspective, paragraph 3 kind of is continuing the discussion in paragraph 2. What do you think? Do you see it that way? We're still talking about this guru that's going to solve all your problems. But it takes a different turn in paragraph 4. What are your thoughts about what's being said there, my esteemed friends? Is there a role in healing that one can use to offer help for someone else? The answer in arrogance is no. But in humility, the answer is yes.
Mhm.
How am I doing paraphrasing that? Somebody explain.
Could you explain it a little better? I don't get it.
No, okay. I can help. Okay. In arrogance, the answer is no, because you're not even here. Is there a role for healing that one can help someone to heal? Can you play a role of helping someone to heal? In truth, the answer is no, because there's nothing to be healed, because you're at home in God having this crazy dream. However, you're on level 2 where stuff that doesn't exist, we're going to use. You believe in individuals, you believe in learning, you believe in a lot of things that aren't true. So let's let's here in level 2 go with some of those things. So he says in sentence 3, but in humility, there is indeed a place for helpers. It's like the role that helps in prayer and lets forgiveness be what it is meant to be. You do not make yourself the bearer of the special gift that brings healing. So this goes to our definition of healing, A Course in Miracles style. You but recognize your oneness with the one who calls for help. For in this oneness is his separate sense dispelled, and it is this that made him sick. There is no point in giving remedy apart from where the source is. So, whatever the physical manifestations, that's what we usually think of when we think of healing and that, right? Okay,
Right.
you got cancer, you got a broken leg, or stuff like that. But what we're saying here is all of this is mental. And you guys agree, right? So
Right.
any application to the physical cannot solve the problem if it's mental. I don't know. I'm looking at faces here. Rebuttal? We're open to that, you know. I know I've been wrong a lot of times before. Pretty much all the time now that I know I was following my ego, I was always wrong. Interesting. Um, Joan, you asked me to elaborate on paragraph 4, and I offered we're on 2 different levels. Level 1, the answer is no. There's nothing you can really do. You're not even here. This is all a dream, an illusion. But love would not act that way. My children are suffering. Now, they made up their own suffering, but nonetheless, I'm not going to leave them stranded. So here's what I want my helpers to do, God's teachers, if you will. Go about and heal truly. You be the special people that demonstrate true healing. In order to heal truly, you have to apply the healing where the sickness is. So we're more like mental healers. And in teaching mental healing, we teach it also to ourselves. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. What is healing? The restoration of oneness or wholeness. That's not what I had no idea that's what healing was until I got into this book. But he does make this stuff ring true, doesn't he?
So
Comment?
is praying for people helpful?
Absolutely. Okay. Except the only real prayer is praying for myself that I believe in the reality of these people that need help. The Holy Spirit knows I don't need help and they don't need help. Why?
They're not even here.
Okay. However, they're unhappy. My children are unhappy. So what am I going to do? Just leave them hanging because I know the truth? No, I'm going to help in the way that my teacher knows how to help here on level 2. But I'm not going to go about it and just think I have to do stuff physical, because that's not where the problem is it?
No.
You all seem fairly convinced that it's in the mind.
Mhm.
So we are specialized teachers that use the Holy Spirit within us to, to put forth techniques for true healing. Have you ever been with someone that's really distraught and there's nothing to say but you give them a hug?
Right.
And they seem to like that. You didn't come in judging them or telling them what to do. You just gave them a hug. What did that hug convey?
Um,
Yeah, I'm with you. So it's going to be techniques like that that the world, it doesn't get on their radar about sharing love. And by the way, we'll read some more about that shortly, okay? Everybody all right?
Mhm.
Paragraph 5, Joan.
Um, Paragraph 5.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Healers there are, for they are sons of God who recognize their source and understand that all their source creates is one with them. This is a remedy that brings relief which cannot fail. It will remain to bless for all eternity. It heals no part, but wholly and forever. Now the cause of every malady has been revealed exactly as it is. And in that place is written now the holy word of God. Sickness and separation must be healed by love and union. Nothing else can heal as God established healing. Without him, there is no healing, for there is no love.
Now, let me stop there and just make sure in sentence 7, we're still on that issue. What is healing? Sickness and separation must be healed by love and union. What is union?
Togetherness, there is no separation.
Union is joining.
Joining. Okay.
Union is oneness. By the way, what does yoga mean? Anybody?
To yoke together, to join.
Yoga means union. And yoga, more specifically, as a kind of meditative practice, is joining or having union with the Creator. Is that any different than reestablishing the purpose of prayer? Remember when we started, what's the purpose? What is prayer? Prayer is the ongoing communication between you and your Creator that was established at your creation. One of the things that seemed to happen is that communication got interrupted by this wild imagination thing that we have come to call the ego. It interfered with communication. It was not a loss in perfection. I'm quoting from page 103, paragraph 12. It was not a loss in perfection. Nothing happened. But this prayer, it was a kind of interruption in your communication. A strident voice arose as the ego's voice. It could not shatter the peace of God, but it could shatter your peace. And isn't that exactly what seems to have happened? Healing is the restoration of wholeness or of oneness. So let the doctors do their thing. They're a lot more popular than we are right now because the world follows a different definition of healing. But we're going to be there with true healing, not false healing. How do we do it? We don't. We have to let our teacher show us how to do it. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. I can't do it myself, but I have to let him teach me. How are we doing with that?
Good.
Yeah, this has gotten like, okay. Our next reader is me. I'm on paragraph 6, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
God's voice alone can tell you how to heal. Listen, and you will never fail to bring his kindly remedy to those he sends to you, to let him heal them, and to bless all those who serve with him in healing's name. The body's healing will occur because its cause has gone. And now, without a cause, the body cannot come again in different, I'm sorry, let me just read it because I messed up. I'm in sentence 4. And now, without a cause, it cannot come again in different form, nor will death any more be feared. Why?
Because it has been understood.
There is no fear in one who has been truly healed, for love has entered now where idols used to stand, and fear has given way at last to God. What part does the body play in healing?
Doesn't play any part.
And that's the thing that is so incredible about this whole discussion. And I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. But it could be true. How long have we been trying to heal the body? And every time I heal it, it breaks down again. Sue, share your thoughts here.
You picked on me. Share my thoughts that the body breaks down again. I really don't have an answer for that, but I do know that even though the ideal situation is that there is no body, that we're all energy, that we're unity of one, and we go on from place to place, if you may, to learn and to grow. But we're here. And the body really heals through the mind and the soul. We go to a doctor to correct a problem in the body, but we also need to see ourselves as whole.
Yes, ma'am. Well said. Go to the doctor, do all those things. Everything's going according to plan.
Yeah.
But what you've learned now is something that's really true. And so, like me, it's hard to wrap your mind around it completely.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a pathway that most of our brothers and sisters have never even considered. They will, but we're the pioneers of this new thought. How's that?
Let me ask you a question. Why is it that some people are always healthy? They're healthy. They're okay. They're fine. They may be like us, and they study and they learn and they believe. They believe some things, they don't believe some things. But why is it that some of those people get very sick and some of us are very healthy? Our bodies are whole and complete. I mean, I don't have an answer for that, because I have a friend who's 106 years old. Her mind is sharp as a tack.
Is she still gonna die?
Absolutely.
What is the death rate? I used to work at a cemetery and we had a joke. It was in Detroit. No, it was in Livonia, but the death rate is 100%.
Yeah.
No. The death rate here is 100%, is it?
Of course it is.
Maybe you live to 106, maybe you live to 26, but the death rate is inevitable, is it not?
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I don't know. You're still going to die. I understand. I don't have an answer for that, Sue. But I'm trying to get you not to read too much into it.
Well, no, I realize that. But think about that, because I've been into unity thinking since I'm about 40. I'm 85 years old. I am perfectly healthy. I'm lucky. That's how I look at it. But I really take care of myself.
Well, the other thing is maybe you're being sustained because you got work to do here.
Oh, I definitely been sustained because I've got work to do here. Just
And
tell God
maybe
to
the
speak
word's not
English.
finished in this part, that whatever. Hey, how about this answer? I don't know.
Well, I don't know either, but that's a good answer because that's why some people live to 106. They have more work to do.
Hey, you've got a purpose here. I have no idea what it is, and maybe when you're done, you'll graduate.
Maybe.
And so, thank goodness that you haven't suffered with a lot of physical and body
Oh, you're
related
very lucky.
illness, and that. God bless you, right? But I have no idea why. Um, I want. I'm looking at the time here. I was wondering how we going to do 90 minutes. We only got these two sections, but then I forgot how much you guys love to talk. So, how about we continue the holiness of healing? And I'm just going to make myself shut up because I read this already and it has some things to say, but I think my time would be better spent with discussion at the end of this section. So let's just kind of read on through it. Joan, did I read 6? That was me, wasn't it?
Yes.
God's
Yes.
voice alone. Okay. So we're back to Ron for the new section, Ron.
Okay. The holiness of healing. How holy are the healed? For in their sight, their brothers share their healing and their love. Bringers of peace, the Holy Spirit's voice, through whom he speaks for God, whose voice he is, such are God's healers. They but speak for him and never for themselves. They have no gifts, but those who have from they have no gifts but those they have from God. And these they share because they know that this is what he wills. They are not special, they are holy. They have chosen holiness and given up all separate dreams of special attributes through which they can bestow unequal gifts on those less fortunate. Their healing has restored their wholeness so they can forgive and join the song of prayer in which the healed sing of their union and their thanks to God.
Thank you, Ron. Next, we have Joni.
As witness to forgiveness, aid to prayer, and the effect of mercy truly taught, healing is blessing. And the world responds in quickened chorus through the voice of prayer. Forgiveness shines its merciful reprieve upon each blade of grass and feathered wing in all the living things upon the earth. Fear has no haven here, for love has come in all its holy oneness. Time remains only to let the last embrace of prayer rest on the earth, an instant, as the world is shined away. This instant is the goal of all true healers, whom the Christ has taught to see his likeness and to teach like him.
Think what it means to help the Christ to heal. Can anything be holier than this? God thanks his healers, for he knows the cause of healing is himself, his love, his son, restored as his completion and returned to share with him creation's holy joy. Do not ask partial healing, nor accept an idol for remembrance of him whose love has never changed and never will. You are as dear to him as is the whole of his creation, for it lies in you as his eternal gift. What need have you for shifting dreams within a sorry world? Do not forget the gratitude of God. Do not forget the holy grace of prayer. Do not forget forgiveness of God's Son. Let's keep reading here and we'll summarize at the end. Ron, we're back to you, I believe.
Yes. You first forgive, then pray, and you are healed. Your prayer has risen up and called to God, who hears and answers. You have understood that you forgive and pray, but for yourself. And in this understanding, you are healed. In prayer, you have united with your source and understood that you have never left. This level cannot be attained until there is no hatred in your heart and no desire to attack the Son of God.
Joan, you're next, right?
Never forget this. It is you who are God's son. And as you choose to be to him, so are you to yourself and God to you. Nor will your judgment fail to reach to God, for you will give the role to him you see in his creation. Do not choose amiss, or you will think that it is you who are creator in his place, and he is then no longer cause, but only an effect. Now healing is impossible, for he is blamed for your deception and your guilt. He who is love becomes a source of fear, for only fear can now be justified. Vengeance is his great destroyer, death. And sickness, suffering, and grievous loss become the lot of everyone on earth, which he abandoned to the devil's care, swearing he will deliver it no more.
There's so much that could be said, but let me keep reading. Come unto me, paragraph 6. That's where we are, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Listen to this, man. This just got me when I read it. It's like, here's where God comes in and starts speaking to us directly. See what you think of it. Come unto me, my children, once again, without such twisted thoughts upon your hearts. You still are holy, with the holiness which fathered you in perfect sinlessness and still surrounds you with the arms of peace. Dream now of healing, then arise and lay all dreaming down forever. You are he your father loves, who never left his home, nor wandered in a savage world with feet that bled, and with a heavy heart made hard against the love that is the truth in you. Give all your dreams to Christ and let him be your guide to healing, leading you in prayer beyond the sorry reaches of the world. Wow. Ron, we're back to you for 7.
He comes for me and speaks my word to you. I would recall my weary son to me from dreams of malice to the sweet embrace of everlasting love and perfect peace. My arms are open to the son I love, who does not understand that he is healed and that his prayers have never ceased to sing his joyful thanks in unison with all creation in the holiness of love. Be still an instant. Underneath the sounds of harsh and bitter striving and defeat, there is a voice that speaks to you of me. Hear this an instant, and you will be healed. Hear this an instant, and you have been saved.
Joan?
Help me to wake, my children, from the dream of retribution and a little life beset with fear that ends so soon it might as well have never been. Let me instead remind you of eternity, in which your joy grows greater as your love extends along with mine beyond infinity, where time and distance have no meaning. While you wait in sorrow, heaven's melody is incomplete because your song is part of the eternal harmony of love. Without you is creation unfulfilled. Return to me who never left my son. Listen, my child, your father calls to you. Do not refuse to hear the call of love. Do not deny to Christ what is his own. Heaven is here, and heaven is your home.
Creation leans across the bars of time to lift the heavy burden from the world. Lift up your hearts to greet its advent. See the shadows fade away in gentleness. The thorns fall softly from the bleeding brow of him who is the Holy Son of God. How lovely are you, child of holiness? How like to me. How lovingly I hold you in my heart and in my arms. How dear is every gift to me that you have made, who healed my son and took him from the cross. Arise, arise and let my thanks be given you. And with my gratitude will come the gift first of forgiveness, then eternal peace. And Ron, would you close us out here with paragraph 10, please?
So now return your holy voice to me. The song of prayer is silent without you. The universe is waiting your release because it is its own. Be kind to it and to yourself, and then be kind to me. I ask but this, that you be comforted, and live no more in terror and in pain. Do not abandon love. Remember this, whatever you may think about yourself, whatever you may think about the world, your Father needs you and will call to you until you come to him in peace at last.
Okay. Amazing language, isn't it? That just really hit me when I started seeing all those capital first letters and God himself speaking to us at the close of the song of prayer. Oh, let me put mine out there and see what you got. We are saved not by what we do, we are saved by what we are. I understand if what you are, you don't think that's what you are at times. But this course teaches all your problems will be taken care of. I'm thinking of the Bible verse that says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all other things will be added to you." We are saved by what we are. There is no other way to save us. But why would you need another way? Is this not the easiest path to salvation that you could imagine? Just friggin' be yourself. Stop trying to be a fake and carrying off a performance of personality like you are an individual, like you're your own self-contained creator. We're part of something wonderful. Why would you want to change that? So here we are caught up in this dream, but thank goodness God's grace is there, because we find out that the dream is merely a loving education. What is the purpose of the dream? To teach us what we are. How? By letting us try being what we're not and seeing if it makes us happy. God's will for me is perfect happiness. Why would you want anything else? What is more perfect than perfect happiness? And yet you can understand little kids can waft off and go off into la la land and imagine all kinds of things. But it gets very serious when you don't give appreciation to your thought power. Just a thought, a tiny little mad idea. And look what we made. So if you want to be healed, there are things you can do here in level 2. But the whole thing, it was really, you didn't have to do all of that because none of it actually happened in the first place. How am I doing? And we'll start wrapping up tonight.
It makes sense, Jim. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
So the solution isn't even on like the radar in the earth plane, is it? So I feel very privileged to get this information, this alternative, and hey, it might actually even be true. It rings true. I really tried to take time and listen to it. And as incredible as it sounds, it rings true, especially when I compare it to the options that seem available to us for healing in this world. This place is a mess. Yes, no.
Yes.
Yes.
Um, so it's not like I got other alternatives when I look around here. I haven't seen solutions here in millions of years. It just seems to be coming to the brink of something right now. At any rate, I hope you appreciate these teachings. And I certainly thought it was worthwhile. You know, we did the two supplements a year and a half or so ago, and I thought, let's take another look at them. And like the rest of the course, they get better with age. What I wanted to do is just take a few minutes to remind you again, after 15 months, it's vacation time. So we're going to get a whole week off. There's no meeting on April 1st. So relax, enjoy yourselves. But I hope you're planning to come back on April the 8th when we'll start our 15-month cycle over again from the very beginning. And if you're up to it, I sure hope you'll join me for the new study cycle. I don't know how much you guys use our study schedule, but I think if you would use it as often as you can, I think you'll find it beneficial. And you know, I never ask you, did you do your lessons this week? Did you do your reading this week? It is not my style to put that kind of pressure on people. I want you to do this course every day because you love it, not because, I mean, this is one place where you don't have to feel pressure. It's up to you. But I will be sending out the new study schedule that begins on April 8th. I should have it ready to send out to you tomorrow. So you'll get the schedule and get to look it over. Plus, at our meeting on April 8th, I will go over that schedule and review it with you. I made a couple changes trying to make it a little better, a little more informative. And so just to let you know, I'm looking forward to seeing you. I hope you'll join me beginning April 8th. Any questions, comments from you as we close out tonight? Okay. And by the way, I've gotten used to it. I don't mind when you're speechless. I've come to take that as a good thing. So I hope I'm doing it right. Oh, by the way, uh, if you or anyone you know, other course students, don't forget our Monday night group. It's called ACIM Talks with Reverend Jim, and it's more for experienced course students. So you guys are definitely experienced students. So please consider Monday's ACIM talks. We meet for an hour from 7 to 8. And I think you'll get some positive things from joining us in that group. I know Ron and Joan are already there. You like it, right?
I love it.
Very much.
We got testimonials. Anyhow, I'm going to close up. I've already gone over. I thank you so much for being here and for having the open-mindedness to entertain all the crazy stuff we talk about. Jim can be crazy, but you'd have a hard time calling Jesus crazy and this stuff in the book. So it's all good. I am ready to turn it over to our closer and button things up here for tonight. Okay.
Okay. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. I am the light of God.
I am the light
And
of
the
God.
light of God.
Light of God.
I am the love of God.
I am
I am the love of God.
I am the power of God.
I
I
am
am the power of
of
God.
God.
I am the presence of God.
I am the
I am the presence of
of
God.
God.
Therefore,
there.
Therefore,
wherever I am,
wherever I
where
am,
I am,
God is.
God is,
God is.
And all is well.
and
And all
is
is
well.
well.
There is nothing to fear.
There is
There is
nothing to fear.
There is only love.
There is
There is
only
only
love.
love.
Namaste.
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 All right, brothers and sisters.
Thank you for a year of
Yeah, I'm
Yes, thank you, Jim.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
feeling momentous here. I love you. I'll see you soon. Thank you very
And thank you for a beautiful year.
much.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Have a blessed 2 weeks, everybody.
Thank you.
you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Yeah, you too.
Bye now.
Okay.